glasses. I can't be dropping my glasses because I need my glasses because I have to see. Good evening. Good evening, evening, evening. It is such a pleasure to be here tonight. It is a pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. Tonight's topic is how to change your mindset. Yes, how to change your mindset. Changing one's mindset sometimes it's not as easy as it sounds or easy as it seems. Changing mindset can be very difficult for some people. Very difficult. Because when we think about mindset, that's a process. That's a process of change. And many people do not like what? Change. Nope. Nope. Many people do not like change. And in order to change, we have to change our mindset as to how we've been doing things, how we think about things, how we see things, how we react to things. So changing your mindset, that takes a lot of work for many people. It takes a lot of work for many people when you say, oh, just change your mindset. And many people be like, change my mindset. You're like, yeah, just change your mindset. And you're like, I'm not changing my mindset. What are you talking about? I've been like this all my life. Yeah, I know. That's probably why you need to change your mindset because you have been that way all of your life. And changing your mindset can be so rewarding and so uplifting by changing just one thing from what you've been doing. One thing. I know for me, when I begin to change my mindset and the way that I have been thinking, oh my gosh, it changed my whole entire life. It changed my whole life because I no longer thought the way I had been taught, the way I saw things through my thinking. And once I began to change my mindset, my whole entire world changed. My whole entire world changed. Once I began to change the way I thought about things, the way I looked at things, the way I had been taught about everything, really. Because you know, when you're young or when you're a child and you're growing up, and you know, if your mom told you this, it was this way, you believe it. If your pastor told you it was this way, you believed it. If your grandparents told you it was this way, you believed it. You did not you didn't question anything. You didn't question anything. So you go your whole life thinking the way that you had been taught was right, which, not saying that it was wrong, but it was the way that whomever taught you that, the way they had been taught. So that's why we have to change our own mindset and look at things differently from how we have been taught. And I know for me, it was like I had to just literally break down one, two, three, all these things, what I had been taught and the way I view them in my mind, right? And so once I began to do that, I'm telling you, I was just like, wow. And you feel so much better. You feel so much better internally and mentally when you start, I call it an operation. When you start to operate on your mindset and change the way that you see things, the way you view things, it's just such an eye opener. You be like, wow, all these years I thought this, all these years I thought that. Wow. And once you begin to say, I'm going to look at that different. I'm not going to look at that the way I've looked at that my whole entire life. Or I'm not going to view that the way that my mom told me to look at it. Or whomever, or my environment, or whatever. And once we begin to change our mindset, world of opportunity is there. When you, me, us, when we change our mindset, it's like a light bulb. A light bulb. Just like it comes on. Because now we're like, wait a minute. So all this time I've been believing what my mama told me, and that really, now that I'm thinking about it as an adult, because I'm changing my way of thinking, right? I don't know. I don't believe that to be true. What she told me or what she taught me. Now that I'm changing my mind, my mindset, and I'm learning, and I'm like, So you mean all that stuff the pastor taught us, all that might not have been true? So once you start to realize that, then that's when you say, okay, let me take a step back. Let me take a step back and think about really my whole life up until now. Because I've been thinking all this time one way when really that really wasn't the right way or the way for me. And I'm telling you, for me, when I started just really digging deep, I mean deep, into changing my mindset about things, it's like, wow. And you feel like, I began to feel like I was a new person. In a way, I was. I had become, or I was becoming a new person internally and mentally and emotionally because I was changing my mindset of the way I was thinking, of the way I had been taught to think. And that's why we all need to learn for ourselves. Don't go based off of what somebody done told you all your life. Don't base it on that. Because if you do, then what you believe to be true about whatever it is that you've been told or you've been taught, that doesn't mean that it was correct. That doesn't mean it's correct. So it's like, okay. And what made me start the process of like wanting to change my mindset is because where I had been all my life as far as mentally and emotionally, it was like, okay, I have got to do something different. I've got to do something different because the way I've been doing things, that's not working. That's not working for me. And once I made the conscious decision that I need to change some things, so I changed one thing. And then once I changed that one thing, I started thinking like, oh, wait a minute, let me go back in my memory bank. Let me just go back and let me think about everything, right? Let me go back and think about everything that I've been taught about religion, about God, about everything. I mean everything. And once I began to do that, I was like, hmm, hmm, okay. That's why it's so important for us to learn learn for ourselves. Because if I go based everything off of what you tell me, I'm going off of what you've been through and your experiences. And I don't have any for myself because I haven't taken the time to create my own experiences and change my mindset up from what you taught me or told me all these years. All these years. And it's like, wow. I was so excited once I decided to like, no, I have to change. I have to change the way I think. I have to change the way that I've been thinking, acting, receiving, all of that. And it was just like, wow. I said, I feel like I had a mental, emotional operation because you feel so full once you start to do the work internally on yourself. And it's like, wow, wow, dang. So everything my mama said wasn't true because now I'm learning this stuff for myself. And it's like, oh, okay. Because what we got to remember, when people tell us stuff or when they teaching us stuff, like life stuff or to that effect, they're basing what they're telling us or teaching us off of their experiences. Many a times off their experiences. So we'll go through life base our life off of other people' life experiences when our life don't have nothing to do with their life. But when you change your mindset, when you start the process of changing your mindset, that's when your eyes are open, they're wide, they're big, and you just so eager. You are eager to just learn, and to just grow. And it's just like, wow. I'm so glad that I made a decision to want to change my mindset, my way of thinking, the way I look at people, my assessment of myself. And it's just like, wow, really? You did that? That's what I mean. That's what I be telling myself sometimes. I be like, you did that, girl. You did. You did. You know, hey, hi, Angelica. But it's like I'm telling y'all, if you just start to just be like, oh, thank you. If you just start to just become eager to want to learn about yourself, want to learn about you, because I'm going to be honest, it's so much I never even knew about and I'm 53. I never knew about myself. I had no idea about myself, about me. And it's like now I'm learning so much about myself. It's just like, wow, dang, I didn't even know that. And it's like, I thought pink was my favorite color. But now I realize that's not my favorite color. It's not. And that happens when we start to learn and start to change and we start to grow. And it's like, oh, wow, wow. Because I tell myself all the time, I'll be like, girl, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you because, and today I was thinking about this. I was in the car and I was thinking, and I was just like, you know, all the stuff that you've been through, it's nothing but the grace of God that you did not lose your mind. That you didn't lose your mind. And I was just like, yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And a lot of time, we forget about a lot of stuff that we be done went through. And it's like, stuff will gradually come. And if you haven't changed your mindset about things, you'll find yourself depressed. You'll find yourself just unhappy, miserable, or whatever the case might be. That's why it's so important for us to do the work on changing our mindset and just wanting to grow. I mean, just wanting to grow internally, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I am so glad that I made a decision to say, you know what, I don't like that person. I don't like that person that I was, because I thought I was doing so good, but I really wasn't. I was not. And it's like now I see, now that I'm changing, and I look back and I just be like, wow, you was a mess. And I'd be like, I was, huh? I'd be like, I'd be like, I was a mess, huh? Be like, yeah, 53. And and I was like, I said, and I was like, you was a mess. And I was like, yeah, I was a mess. I was a mess. And it's like, until you actually do the work that you need to do, you're going to be a mess. Even though you're going to think that your life is good, you're going to think that you're doing good and all of this stuff, right? But really, if we really be honest with ourselves, really be honest, and you be like, have a one-on-one with yourself, you'll be like, wow, I'm not really as good. And I'm gonna tell you another thing we do. We lie to ourselves. We lie to ourselves, and we tell ourselves that we're this great person. We tell ourselves that we are amazing. We tell ourselves all of these things when really a lot of it is not true. It's stuff that we done told ourselves, and we are the only ones that believe it. We're the only ones that believe it, but it's crazy that we just, you have to want better for yourself. You have to want better for yourself. And if you don't want better for you, but you expect other people to want better for you, but if you don't want better for you, then why should anybody else want better for you? I mean, really, be honest. Why should anybody else want better for you when you don't want better for you? You don't want to change. You don't want to grow. You don't want to learn. You don't want to do anything. You just want to stay the same person. And we all know if you stay the same, that's not good. Staying the same, being the same is not good. You're not, it's like planting something and you never water it, but you expect it to grow. It's not gonna grow. It's not gonna grow because you're not feeding that seed that you planted with water. You're not pulling the weeds or nothing. You just expect it to grow. No, no. You gotta put some work into you. If you don't put no work into you, you gonna be the same person today, tomorrow, next week, 20 years from now. If you're not willing to put the work into you that's needed for you, this for you. This not for anybody else. This is for you, so you could be better, so you could do better. And that's what we have to learn. Everything that I do is for me. It's for me to be better. It's for me to do better. It's for me to create a great life for myself. It's for me. Everything that I do now at this stage in life is for me to be better, to do better for myself, because if you don't do it for yourself, nobody else is going to do it. So you have to figure out what it is that you need for you. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to change. If you're not willing to change, then you're just going to be that same person. Whatever type person that is, that's who you're going to be. and it's just it's sad. It's really sad that so many people refuse to change. And it's not like a drastic change you have to do. You could change one thing. And if you change that one thing, you will be so surprised how your life will change just by changing one thing. One thing, whatever that one thing might be for you. Yes, and it's just like, wow. But because people don't like change, and it's like, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change. You're like, well, why won't you change? It's easier than you think to change. Just one thing. And it's like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to change. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to force you. I mean, it will benefit you to change. But if you don't want to change, I'm not going to force you. All I could do is just say, give you a suggestion. That's it. That's all I could do is give you a suggestion that you really should make a change. That's it. That's it. And if you don't want to do it, okay. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay, sir. Whomever. That's fine with me. I'm not forcing you to change, but I know I'm willing to change. And I'm willing to do the work in order to make the change. So we have to be willing to change our mindset. We have to be willing to change a lot of different things, a lot of different things. And if we're not willing to do that, then just stay who you choose to stay, to be. That's up to you. That's completely up to you on who you decide to be, on who you decide to stay, I should say. So, I don't know. I would hope, at some point you would want to change. But if you don't, then that's not a problem. It's okay. It's really, really okay if you don't. But yeah, but I'm glad that I made the decision to start to change because it has created a whole different world and a whole different life at this stage. So I'm very happy and excited that I'm like, yeah, I'll change my mind. I'll change my life. I'll do it. I'm up for it. And guess what? I'm up for it right now. Yes, I am so happy and so excited that I did decide to make that decision to change my mindset. It's all about mindset. That's just like when I first started working out, um, like 2 years ago, well, about 3 years ago, since COVID. And when I first started working out, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't run. I couldn't walk. I mean, well, I could walk. I couldn't run. I couldn't ride the bike. I couldn't jog. I couldn't do nothing. I mean, when I say nothing, I couldn't do anything. And I said, okay, you're going to have to change the way you think about this. You're going to have to change your whole mindset when it comes to working out. And, excuse me. And I did. I changed my whole mindset about working out. Now I run, I walk, I run, walk. I do everything. I lift weights. I lift weights. I do everything now. And it's like because I had to change my mindset. I had to change the way I was reacting to my trainer. Like, oh gosh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But then I said, if you don't change your mindset, you don't need to come out here anymore. You don't need to come out here and talk about you want to work out, you want to lose weight, because you have to change your mindset in order to get a return on your investment. If you're not changing your mindset, you're not going to get a return on your investment. You really aren't. You gonna always be that person. So if I hadn't said, okay, if he tell me to do something, I'm gonna do it because I'm here. I need to get healthy. I need to lose weight. I need to change my way of thinking and the way I deal with whatever my trainer tell me to do. I need to do it. So once I did that, and I came to terms with I needed to change my mindset, And after I did that, it was all the way up. It really was. It was all the way up. And I was just like, wow. I said, and that's when I realized about mindset. That's what made me realize that if you change up here, the way you think, it'll change your whole life. If you just say, if you live paycheck to paycheck, right? If you live paycheck to paycheck and you think all you gonna ever do is live paycheck to paycheck, your life not gonna change, your job ain't gonna get any better, your nothing gonna change, nothing gonna get better, right? But if you change your mindset and you start to say, I know right now I live paycheck to paycheck, right? I'm paycheck to paycheck, but just because I'm paycheck to paycheck does not mean I'm going to always be paycheck to paycheck. And then by you changing your mindset on you living paycheck to paycheck, you'll start coming up with something to where, okay, I'm paycheck to paycheck right now, but what can I do? What can I do to change that situation to where I'm not paycheck to paycheck? What skills do I have that I can come up with something where I can bring more money into my household to where I'm not paycheck to paycheck? Because if you ever been paycheck to paycheck, that is not a good feeling. Mm-mm. If you've ever been paycheck to paycheck, and now in this environment, a whole lot of people's paycheck to paycheck that once was never paycheck to paycheck, now they're paycheck and paycheck and paycheck and paycheck and paycheck and paycheck and double and triple paycheck. Yeah, but if you change your mindset about being paycheck to paycheck, you'll figure out like, nah, I gotta change this. I gotta figure out how can I not be paycheck to paycheck anymore. And once you change that mindset about you gonna always be paycheck to paycheck to, okay, right now paycheck to paycheck. Okay, let me figure out how I could go from paycheck to paycheck so I could add something to this so I'm not paycheck to paycheck. You'll forget it's all about our mindset. It's all about our mindset. And if we could change our mindset, we'll change our whole life. If we change our mindset, we will change our whole entire life. Our whole, and wait, what time it is? Because I got to be going to bed because I got to get to the gym in the morning. Yeah, tomorrow Wednesday. My trainer will be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I got to make sure I'm there. So, okay, 11:17. So I'm about to wrap this up because I got to get to the gym no matter what. No matter what. But yeah, mindset. Change the way you think. Change the way you do things. Just change. Start with one thing. Just one thing. If you start with just one thing, and you'll see how that one thing that you decided to change, how it like, ooh, dang, I changed that one thing and now my life is a little different just from that one change. Yep, yep, just from that one change. You're like, oh my goodness. Yes, I'm telling you. Yeah, so change your mindset about the things you've been, the way you've been thinking all these years. Change your mindset. If you change your mindset, your life will change. I promise you. If you change your mindset, your life will change. All right, I have to go because I have to go get ready for bed so I can get to the gym in the morning. But thank you all. I appreciate you all so much for coming on. And like I said, if you change your mindset, you'll change your whole life. If you just change one thing, all it takes is one thing to change. And if you change that one thing, you will be so surprised how your life will change. Even if it's, excuse me, even if you get up, say like you normally get up at, say if you have to be to work at 7, and you wake up at, I don't know, 6 o'clock. So if you change from getting up at 6 o'clock, and just say, if you say I'm gonna get up at 5:30, I'm gonna set my alarm for 5:30. If you set your alarm for 5:30, that's 30-minute different, right? You will see how much of a difference you feel by getting up at 5:30 instead of 6. That's just one change that you made, right? And by making that one change, by getting up at 5:30 instead of 6 o'clock, you won't feel rushed. You won't feel stress. You won't have anxiety. You will be calm if you just make one change. Just one change. I'm telling you, try it. Try it, try it, try it. Just one change, even if it's just setting your alarm to get up 15 minutes earlier. Just one change, y'all. Just make one change for yourself. And if you make that one change for yourself and you see how it actually is helping you, you're going to say, okay, well, I set my alarm, instead of getting up at 6 o'clock, I'm going to set my alarm for 5:45. And you do that a couple of days and you see like, I don't feel rushed. And it's 15 minutes earlier than you would normally get up, right? And you're like, I don't feel rushed today. I feel calmer. Because you made one change, and that was about 15 minutes of you setting your alarm for 5:45 instead of 6 o'clock. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. If you just make one change, one simple change. I'm not talking about nothing big or nothing drastic. I'm saying one simple change. If you do one simple change, think about something that if you just make that one change, not nothing drastic, not anything drastic, just one simple thing. Think about what it is that you could do to just make your life just a little easier just by changing one thing. Just one thing. Not nothing big. Not nothing big. It might be wash your dishes at night instead of letting your dishes pile up. It might be that. It might be, instead of letting your towel stay in the dryer and you getting the towel out each time you need a towel, start folding your towels up when they finish. That's one little change. And putting them where they go, wherever you have them to go, that's one change. And then you'll start to see like, okay, I like that. You know, when I just reach for my towel in the bathroom or wherever it might be, you know, I'm telling you, it just take one change. Just one thing. One thing. And if you do that one thing, your life will change. I'm telling you. All right, I have to go. But thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful night. Good night.